Okay, so we need to talk about this because what the hell is going on with Chelsea? About a month ago, they won 5 games out of 6 in the Prem. They were entering this 2-game stretch against Barca and Arsenal with a lot of confidence. Against Barcelona, they beat Barcelona. They dominated Barcelona. You can argue, well, Barca had 10 players, but even before Arujo got sent off, Chelsea were the better team in all phases of the game. Enzo Maresca coached the perfect game plan. Absolutely cooked Hansi Flick. And then a couple of days after, against Arsenal, Chelsea fans told me they won. For about 60 minutes of the game, with a man down, no Caicedo, Chelsea were the better team. They created more, they played better. They left with a point. The game finished 1-1, but it felt like 3 points. Chelsea were only 6 points behind Arsenal. In the Champions League, they were doing well, beating Barcelona. And then this happened. They lose 3-1 to Leeds. 0-0 to Bournemouth. And they lose 2-1 to 12th place Atalanta. What the hell is going on? Because, listen, typically December is a bad month for Chelsea. Bad month. Go back over the years, fam. It's a bad month for Chelsea. But I'm pretty sure no Chelsea fan would have predicted it to be this bad. 2 losses, 1 draw. And it feels like they're regressing. Where they should have carried the momentum which they had against Barca and Arsenal and winning 5 games out of 6 before Arsenal in the Prem. They should have carried the momentum, build on it. Instead, they went down and down and down. And let's try to break it down. Let's try to understand exactly what is going on. Is it the players? Is it the injuries? Is it the suspension to Caicedo? Or is it the manager, which I feel like deserves a lot of blame? Listen, you can argue some of it comes down to the fact that they have no Colwell, who's a massive, massive part of the back line, and no Cole Palmer. However, then I'm playing devil advocate. You won 5 games out of 6 without Colwell. You won 5 games out of 6 without Cole Palmer. Barcelona, Arsenal, you played against them without Colwell and without Cole Palmer. So we can't use that as an excuse. So put that in the bag. Put that in the bag. Then you can say, well, Caicedo is a massive miss. He's been our best midfielder. He's been our best player this season. Against Barcelona, you looked what he did. And then against Leeds, he wasn't there. Against Bournemouth, he wasn't there. It's a big, big miss. It's difficult to fill the void of Caicedo in that Chelsea midfield, which I can hear that. I can understand that. But at the same time, that's Caicedo's fault. That's down to him being reckless. He should have never done it. It's not like he got injured. It's not like it was something that happened against him, bro. He brought it to himself. But against Atalanta, he was there. But still, Chelsea wasn't the best. I watched all 3 games. The Atalanta game, I didn't watch it yesterday because I was watching Barca against Frankfurt, but I rewatched it this morning. And Chelsea were pretty good for the first couple minutes, the first half. And they should have led by 2-0. They should have closed the game. That is something that Chelsea, for some reason, don't do in these smaller games. They should have closed the game. It should have been done by that. Enzo Fernandez had a great chance to make it 2-0. Instead, they concede Scamacca in the second half. Very, very bad. It reminded me very similar to the Mikel Moreno goal against Arsenal. Very identical. Byline goes byline on the right-hand side, across inside. No one is man-marking the person. Moreno against Arsenal and Scamacca. Fofana, I don't know what he was doing. 1-1. And then they had another chance. Reece James should hit the target. Instead, they go 2-1 down towards the end. And one thing I noticed with all 3 of these games, Enzo Maresca. Let's talk about Enzo Maresca. Because some of the players deserves a lot of blame, by the way. Some of the players, they shouldn't run away with this and act like it's not their fault. I feel like player-wise, some players have not performed well. Liam Delap, one person who hasn't delivered at all and hasn't performed at all. Joao Pedro has been disappointing. Yes, he scored yesterday, but still not the level that Chelsea fans expected at the Club World Cup, start of the season, the preseason. A lot of hype was around him. He hasn't played to that level. Neto, his level has gone down since the Club World Cup and last season. You look at the left-hand side, whether Gittins or whether Garnacho, none of them are producing and delivering the numbers. So you can say, well, player performances-wise, the players are not helping. But at the same time, it comes down to the manager. I always say, and I talk about Real Madrid all the time, I always say the manager needs to try to put himself in a good place. He needs to basically make it look like I've done everything that I can. It's down to the players. But Enzo Maresca hasn't helped himself. And I look at all these 3 games, and I look at some flaws, some liabilities in Enzo Maresca. We all know, by the way, Enzo Maresca is a young coach, very inexperienced. You can call him a rookie if you want to. I mean, this is his actual first full-time job at a big club. And the season is his first actual season of Champions League football. Last season, Conference League. It's not the same. This guy was resting his main 11. So this time around, he has to balance between the league and the Champions League using his squad, using the depth of his squad. There's so many times this season, especially in these 3 games, I look at Enzo Maresca. I look at the lineup, and I'm confused. I look at the in-game, and I'm confused. I look at the substitutions, and I'm confused. Like yesterday's game. Let's just take an example for yesterday's game against Atalanta. Why is it that yesterday, and I kid you not, I'm not even lying. I'm not even making this up. Why did I see 4 fullbacks yesterday? Let me tell you what Enzo Maresca did yesterday. Enzo Maresca, it was 1-1. Fofana came on for Chalobah. Whether it was injury, whether it was tactical, I don't know. Came on for Wesley Fofana. Scamacca scores at the 55th minute. Why is Malo Gusto coming on? And it's fine. You might think, well, he's coming on, Faisal. He's coming on for Reece James. That's what you would think. That's what you would think. Oh, maybe he's coming on for Cucurella. Maybe he can play on the left-hand side. That's what you would think. Why is he coming on for Enzo Fernandez? Why? Enzo Fernandez, by the way, played a very bad game. I wasn't happy with his performance against Atalanta. And he felt very sluggish. You would think that, you know what? Let's bring a similar profile, similar midfielder in Andre Santos. You know what? If you don't want to do that, maybe you can bring Steve and maybe put Neto as a false 9 or just be a more attacking. Give it to them. Or maybe you bring on someone else. Why are you bringing on Malo Gusto? And why did I see at one point, I saw a pivot of Malo Gusto and Reece James? Why? Why the hell did you not bring on Steve? Why the hell did I see Gittins play as a right winger and not Steve? Why the hell did Santos not come on? Why am I seeing a midfield pairing? At one point, I saw a midfield pairing of Caicedo, of Malo Gusto and Reece James. And at one point, when Cucurella was inverting, the 3 midfielders was Cucurella, Malo Gusto, and Reece James. And at one point, I saw Caicedo play as a right back. So how the hell are you trying to progress the ball? I understand it. Having fullbacks who can counter press is good because you try to win the ball. But brother, rather than winning the ball, how about you keep the ball? What the hell are you going to do with the ball when you have it? What are you going to do with it? Because you've got Malo Gusto, who's not great with the ball. Cucurella is okay. Reece James is okay. But, brother, I want a midfielder. I want someone who's capable of going past players, finding the pass, finding the vision. No one did it. That is, honestly speaking, fam, like, when I looked at it yesterday, I was confused. But when I saw the game today, I was baffled. Because after that sub, Chelsea didn't do anything. They had that 2 late chances with Joao Pedro, which got saved, but it was disgraceful. It was absolutely disgraceful. And now you look at other games. The game against Bournemouth, why are you not bringing on Reece James earlier? Why are you not bringing on? Yes, he didn't use Reece James at all. Maybe for rest, but fam, you're drawing. Steve, you came on. Gittins, this is like some of his in-game management is confusing. It's very, very confusing because Gittins does well the assist against the goal against Ajax, then the assist against Burnley. But then he gets dropped out of nowhere, doesn't play for 3 games. Like, if a player you feel like is catching momentum, is doing well, reward him the next game. Reward him the next game. You freeze him out and you expect him to deliver 3 games after when he hasn't played a single minute. That's not coaching. That's not man management. If a player does well at that, if he plays well in 1 game, reward him the next game. Don't just take him off and not play him and don't play him again. And then after 3-4 games, you play him and you expect him to be the same person as he was 4 games ago. But brother, the sharpness is gone. The sharpness is gone. The rhythm is gone. The momentum is gone. And this is what I feel like with Enzo Maresca. Like when a player is on level, is playing well, reward them. Steve, yes, he didn't have a great game against Arsenal. But why is he getting benched 2 games afterwards in a row? Against Bournemouth and against Atalanta. Now, this is what I don't understand. And yes, he keeps using the argument, well, Steve is young. Lamine Yamal is young. Lamine Yamal is young. Leonard Carl at Bayern Munich, he's young. But when players are talented, play them. And I feel like Enzo Maresca, I'm going to be real. Usually, I go on the players. Usually, from an outside looking in, I feel like player performance, they have to improve. They have to do better. But I look at the last 3 games, and the way Chelsea have lost each one of them, the Leeds game for me comes down to the players just not fighting. The players being lazy. The players not showing any sort of intent. It's just the players. But the lineup doesn't help, but it's the players. The Chelsea was second best in all phases of the game, and it's disgraceful against Leeds, especially coming off from the game against Arsenal, the game against Barcelona. Bournemouth, you can say, come on, Ak. The in-game, tactically, the lineup, Atalanta is 1,000,000,000% your fault. The fact that you had 4 fullbacks, 2 centre-backs playing at one point is disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful. But this, by the way, is just my opinion. I'm just, like I said, an outside looking in. I'm just breaking it down the way I see it. And the way I see it, the players hasn't helped themselves, but the manager has not helped themselves. Has not helped himself. Chelsea are regressing. Chelsea are becoming worse. And this is a bad space to be in because you've got the game against Everton, who Everton's coming in with great form. Cardiff, come on, Ak. Newcastle away, Atalanta, and then Bournemouth to finish December. Like, December was supposed to be a period where Chelsea can gradually and slowly close the gap to Arsenal. But now, instead, you're trying to chase Arsenal. You're trying to make up for all the points that he's dropped. And the Champions League. Why are you in this position? Why the hell are you in this position? You should not be in 11th. With the schedule that you had, and Karabakh and Atalanta away from home, who hasn't been great in Serie A, there should not be a reason why you are potentially going to the playoffs. You should not be adding 2 more games on your schedule in February. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should be going directly through the round of 16. Instead, you might be playing, 2 games in the playoffs. Bad. But listen, put down in the comment section what you guys make of them and what they've done. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon. Chelsea fans, let me know.